Hello, good evening students. Today we will talk about second part of chapter number 12, electricity physics. First part we have covered charges, current, potential difference and electric circuit, whereas in this second part we will move ahead and cover Ohm's law, resistances in series and parallel along with resistivity. Before starting further, I would like to say that share the knowledge by liking, subscribing as well as sharing it. Okay, so because I make these videos with much more hard work, that's why help me in spreading this knowledge further. Thank you very much. Now let's start with it. First of all is Ohm's law. George Simon Ohm found the relationship between current I flowing through a conductor and potential difference across the terminals of a conductor using the circuit diagram. He observed that potential difference and current varies linearly. Very important line, that potential difference and current varies linearly. So you know that as in earlier video we have discussed that current I is measured by ammeter, whereas potential difference is measured by voltmeter. So potential, as you increase potential difference, so current will be more, and this bulb will glow brighter, as we have already discussed. This was observed by Simon Ohm, and he has given his experimental verification for before the law was coined here. What he did, that as you can see in a circuit diagram, arrangement was that of the battery or cells, various cells, then closed key, a rheostat. This is for varying resistances so as to increase or decrease the resistance. It has effect on the value of current passing through the circuit, which is measured by the ammeter. You reduce the value of this resistance in rheostat, current will automatically increase through the circuit. So is the voltmeter. A voltmeter will show potential difference. So potential difference will also change with the current. If current increases, potential difference also increases. But of course this voltmeter is placed across the resistor. This resistor can be any of the appliance like fan or electric heater or geyser. All of them contain resistor, as we can show here. This resistance can be a very small one or it can be a large one, but of course it's a fixed resistance across which voltmeter was attached to it. Now what he said, that he has observed that by varying the values of rheostat, the current values can vary. Now this current will increase, so the potential difference will increase. What he did, that first of all he put here only one cell. Now when he observed the value, he found that there was a very small increase in the current and potential difference. Second time he put two cells on the way, and he found that the value of current increases slightly more as compared to the earlier one, so is the potential difference. And of course by putting the 4 cell or 3 cells, the value of current through the ammeter will be much more, and voltmeter will also be very high, right? So this means that increases linearly. As the value of current increases, so is the value of the potential difference increases. So potential difference really causes a difference in the quantity of current through it. So he took 4 or 5 cells, a thin wire, voltmeter, ammeter, a plug key and some thick connecting wires. Then he has connected the circuit as shown with one cell only. The plug key allowed the current to pass through it. The wire become quite hot when current passes through it for some time. This drain the cell as well. Therefore insert the key into the plug to switch on the current only when taking measurement. Without measurement we should always close the key. The ammeter measures the current I through the circuit, and the voltmeter measures potential difference V volt across when only one cell was connected. Now we can note these values. Now connect two cells in series in the circuit. Again take the reading of voltmeter and ammeter here. on a paper, you will find that the reading of ammeter increases with the reading of voltmeter. Note down the new value of V and I again. Repeat the experiment by connecting in series 3 cells, 4 cells and so on. In each case, measure the potential difference and current. If you calculate V by I for each case, you will find that it is almost the same. So V by R is constant, which is another way of stating Ohm's law. Now if you see here in the diagram, what he did, that he has inserted only one cell, so the value of current was only 1 ampere along with the potential difference, that is 3V. Okay, when he put two cell in the circuit, it became out to be 2 ampere of current with a 6 volt of potential difference in it. Now if you divide them, that is 3V with the 1A, what is the value, is 3, and if we divide 6V, that is volt with the current, then again the value came out to be 3. In each case, whether we take 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 or 4 cell, this value came out to be 3, and it's a straight line in a graph. This straight line is a constant and we call it as a resistance. So resistance is a constant which is lying between the current and the potential difference, and it is obtained by dividing potential difference with the respective current flowing through the circuit. Okay, so this was observed by scientist Simon Ohm. Now let us see what he has coined as an Ohm's law. He stated that electric current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends under standard temperature and pressure conditions. कि जब हम स्टैंडर्ड टेम्परेचर और प्रेशर की कंडीशन स्टैंडर्ड रखेंगे तो उस टाइम पर जो करंट फ्लो होगा सर्किट में से फ्लो होगा वो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस के डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड होगा, डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल होगा. V is proportional to I here. As you can see, more the potential difference, more will be the current. Less potential difference, less will be the current. But you know that with this proportionality sign, we cannot calculate any numerical. Therefore, we always need an equal to sign here. But for equal to sign, you always have to put a constant here. Now constant here is R, which is a proportionality constant, and it is known as resistance. The graph between V and I is always straight line, and this slope is represented as R, as you have seen above. Okay, which is called as a resistance. Now let us see what is definition of this constant resistance. It is a property of a conductor that opposes the flow of current. जब भी कभी करंट फ्लो होता है किसी भी कंडक्टर में, whether that's a wire or any appliance, we always note that it get heated up. That is opposition, or that is the opposition given to the flow of current, and this opposition is because of property of that particular conductor, and we call it as resistance. Okay, it is represented as capital R, and its SI unit is as ohm, and it is for the honor of scientist Ohm. That's why its unit is ohm, and it is symbol is like this. So 1 ohm. अब हम अगर definition देखें कि 1 ohm क्या है, we know that V is equal to IR, right? R is equal to V upon I. This means 1 ohm will be the resistance when the potential difference is 1 volt and current passing through the conductor is only 1 ampere. Only then we will call it as 1 ohm. Let us see what is written here. The resistance of a conductor is said to be 1 ohm when the potential difference across the conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through it is 1 ampere, right? Now rheostat, you know, as we have already discussed earlier, is a variable resistance. That also follows this formula. V is equal to IR is only possible because of the rheostat use, and we represent it like this also. So that is used to measure the resistance. Fixed resistance is of no value, but what resistance is given by the rheostat, that is the constant of proportionality. Let us see, students, now on which factors does this resistance of a conductor depend. First of all is length of the conductor. More the length of the conductor, more will be the resistance. Less the length, less will be the resistance. If we are taking length as L, its resistance will be 1 ohm. If we take length as 2L, resistance will be 2 ohm. So length really matters. Longer wires will have more resistance or a power to oppose the flow of current. Second one, cross section area of the material. Larger the cross section area, lesser will be the resistance. As you can see, we have make this wire double thick. Okay, area we have increased as a double, resistance will be half, whereas in this case this is a thin area, quite thin wire is there, so resistance will be higher, that is 2 ohm. Okay, so this is opposite to each other. More the resistance, less will be the area. Lesser resistance, higher area. This means that thin wires, they provide more resistance or opposition to the flow of current, to the flow of current. So this means that if we take a thin wire and thin and a long wire, that will oppose the current, or this will have higher resistance. Okay, and if we want to flow a larger current which is opposite quantity to that of resistance, we need a thick wire as well as a shorter wire for the larger amount of current to flow through the circuit. Now the third factor on which resistance depends is the temperature. Higher the temperature, larger will be the resistance. Reason being that when we raise the temperature, metal ion also start moving inside the wire, and they cause hurdle for the electrons to flow further, or they provide resistance for the flow of electrons. That's why higher temperature provide more resistance. Next is kind of material, whether we use a conductive material or we use a semiconductor or insulator material, so the resistance varies. Good conductors, they have lesser resistance, whereas insulators, they have very high resistance in them. Further, I have again discussed the same factors here. It depend on the length, it depend on the area of cross section. If you increase area of cross section by 2 times or make the wire thicker by 2 times, resistance will be reduced to 1 by 4 times. And if you make it thin by half, still thin, that resistance is going to be changed by 4 times. This will increase like this. Okay, so let us move further. Compile it that R is proportional to L. Resistance is proportional to length of the conductor. Resistance is also inversely proportional to the area. That is 1 upon A. Area of cross section is inversely related. If we combine them together, R is proportional to L upon A. Okay, which is written as, but still you know that with this proportionality sign we cannot solve numericals, so what we need is equal to sign, but a constant of proportionality is certainly required here, and this proportionality sign is rho, rho here. Okay, and this rho is known as resistivity of the conductor. Now let us see what is this resistivity. Resistivity is nothing else but a resistance offered by a wire of unit length and unit area of cross section. So अगर आप एक वायर की लेंथ 1 यूनिट लेते हैं, 1 मीटर लेते हैं, और साथ में क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया 1 मीटर स्क्वायर इसका पर्टिकुलरली लें, और उसमें से आप करंट को पास करें, तो जो रेजिस्टेंस आएगा उसे हम एक रेजिस्टिविटी का नाम देंगे, दैट इज रेजिस्टिविटी. Right, since R is equal to rho L upon A, so rho will be RA upon L. We'll shift this A to this side and L will be the denominator, so you'll get the value of rho. Okay, as SI unit, as you can see here, ohm meter square upon meter. Cut it down, and SI unit of resistivity is also different from that of resistance. It is ohm meter here. You know that resistivity control resistance of a conductor. It is dependent on the material as well as temperature around it. Resistivity tells us that which kind of material should be used to raise a resistance of a conductor. Okay, if we take alloys, they have a resistivity of alloys is generally very higher than that of its constituent metals. These alloys are made by mixing of various metals. Their resistivity is very high. Like constantan, which is an alloy of copper and nickel, it will have higher resistivity. That is why this type of material is used to make filament of bulb or any other electrical appliances. It is of widespread used. So whenever we are going to select or talk about the resistance, first of all we should check about the resistivity value of the material. Only then we can say that yes, this is perfect to make a resistance or to make a conductor. Right, let us see what is difference between resistance and resistivity. First of all, definition. Difference: property of substance due to which it opposes the flow of electrons, whereas resistivity is the resistance of a material with specific dimensions, mean 1 meter square area and 1 meter of length. Even formula is different. R is equal to rho L upon A, whereas rho is RA upon L. Okay, SI unit different: ohm meter, symbol R and rho, dependence length, cross section area of conductor, temperature, and here it depends on temperature. Alloys, they have high resistivity. You know why they are special, as we have discussed earlier. They have very high resistivity, as we said. They do not oxidize or burn out at a high temperature. For this reason, they are used to make electrical appliances like electric iron, heater, toaster, etc. of the filament bulb. So students, this really matter whether whether we are making a conductor or a resistor in an electric iron, heater and toaster. What we need is heat of them for various purposes. This means that we need more resistance of them. For higher resistance, the wire used will be always thin as well as longer. That is why you always find a coiled wires, thin coiled wire inside them, inside their filament. So this is to raise their resistance. Whereas those wires which are used to conduct electricity in our homes, they are quite thick as well as they are short. Okay, so because they have a very high this current value, that is why. So all the materials depend on the resistivity and various factors which control the resistance, so we should always consider that. Now let us see what kind of Ohm's law numericals come in our way. First question is: potential difference of 20 volt is there across a conductor which gives a resistance of 5 ohm. What is the current flowing through it? So V is 20 V and R is 5 ohm. So we'll use formula V is equal to IR and our I will be 4 ampere. Very simple one. Next one, a resistance of 20 ohm has a current of 2 ampere. Now here resistance is given to us and now current is given to us. What we have to find is potential difference with this formula. So this is also possible. Third numerical is where current is given in the form of 5 amperes and potential difference is 3V. We have to find resistance. So by dividing V by R, we get the resistance, that is 0.6 value. Next question: how does the resistance of a wire changes when its length is tripled? You know, when the length is tripled, resistance will also get tripled. And the diameter is tripled. Students, when the diameter is tripled, in that case diameter is tripled, so it will affect our radius also. Radius, which is d by 2. When we whole square it, what we are going to finally is rho 1 upon pi 3d by 2 whole square, that is 9 times 1 by 9 times. So if you increase the area of cross section by 9 times, resistance will be 1 by 9 times. Okay, that is going to reduce, and its material is changed whose resistivity is 3 times. Of course, if you increase resistivity by 3 times, resistance will automatically will become 3 times. Okay, so you can give it in the numerical form or in the word form also. Now next one is that give one example to show how the resistance depend on the nature of the material of the conductor. And second very important thing is that to calculate the resistance of our aluminium cable of length 10 kilometer and diameter is 2 mm if the resistivity is this much value, 2.7 into 10 power minus 8 ohm meter. Let us see what we have done in it. This is quite important numerical. Now this shows that resistance depend on nature of the material. Length is 10 kilometer, so we convert it into meter, that is 10,000 meter. Diameter is 2 mm, that is radius 1 mm, 10 power minus 3 meter. Rho is given to you, R is rho L upon A. When we put the values, so we will finally get the value as 86 ohm is the value we will get it. But do not forget to convert the units from the kilometer to meter and diameter from mm to meter. Now next one is resistance of a system of resistors. First of all, series resistances in series. Now look here, I have used here three resistances here. Now these three resistances, students, they are all connected in series or in one line, and along with that this wire is connected to the ammeter and then to the switch and then to the battery, and again through the wire it will be connected here, and this voltmeter will be connected in parallel to all the three resistances here. Okay, check out one thing very important is that a red side or positive terminal of the battery, positive terminal of it, and positive terminal of voltmeter, they are on the same side, only then the current is going to flow through it. Okay, so always keep in mind to connect all these terminals in one direction only. Let us see its circuit diagram here. Now this is a battery, then a key which you have seen here, this is a key one, and then wire, and then this is an ammeter present here. Three resistances are there, and along with three resistances we have placed a voltmeter here with positive terminals of all of them on the one side, and current is flowing from the positive terminal toward the negative terminal. So this diagram shows the resistors are connected in series. Now if we use Ohm's law, students, we will find that first of all let us understand it. You know, when current will pass through it, this will go straight way and will pass through all the resistors, and it will be same. For example, 5 ampere of current is coming at, that will pass through all the resistors. 5 ampere will be the current that will pass through all the resistors, no deviation at all. Whereas potential difference will be different for all the resistances. For example, if you are using a fan and then AC and then heater, you know, all of them have different resistances, they have a different value of current to be used, that's why the resistances are different. Okay, so this means they will consume different potential difference also. So in that case V1 will be equal to IR1. Okay, for the first resistor V1 will be equal to IR1 since I is same, V2 is equal to IR2, and V3 is equal to IR3 for the third resistors. Okay, now total potential difference, that is V, which will be calculated by this voltmeter, that will be equal to the V1 plus V2 plus V3. So what is there in V1, V2 plus V3, it will be calculated here, and ultimately we will find this will come out to be IR is IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3, cut down I on both the sides, and R effective will come out to be R1 plus R2 plus R3, which is very important. So this shows that effective resistance will always be a sum, algebraic sum of all the individual resistances. This means that if you use a resistance of 1 ohm each, 1 total resistance come out always to be 3 ohm in this case, which is very high. Okay, this means current value will be very low passing through it. Students, you know that this type of resistance is used in case of our houses for the decoration during Diwali days. So LED lights you use in to decorate your houses, they are all connected in the series because they give you a lot of light by consuming less amount of current. So resistance will be very high. But one very big disadvantage is that if one LED is spoiled, all the whole circuit will be spoiled, and the other LEDs will also not work. This is one big disadvantage of resistances in series. Now let us see next one, that is resistances in parallel, which give us a minimum effective resistance. Now this type of circuit gives us a minimum resistance for the flow of current. You can see here three resistances, they are all joined in parallel. As you can see, this is how parallel arrangements are made. Now these are joined with a voltmeter here, all of them parallel with the voltmeter. Then ammeter is placed here, battery as well as switch. Now if you look at the diagrammatic structure, you can see here a resistance 1, 2 and 3, all of them in parallel, so that when current is passing through here, this current will divide into three parts here depending on the resistances. Less resistance will consume more current, more resistance will consume less current, but of course their total value will always remain same, so current will be distributed in all the three parts. Okay, so current will be totally different, but students, you know, their potential difference is always same, that does not change. Therefore we will start it with the equation with the I1, which is a with the thing which is different, that is I1 is V by R1, I2 is V by R2 and I3 will be V by R3, and we sum it up, I1 plus I2 plus I3, that will come out to be I in this case. Okay, so this is a different from that of the series arrangement. So V by R is V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. When we calculate it, we will find that 1 by R will be equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Therefore reciprocal of the total resistance, effective resistance, that will be the reciprocal of all the resistances. And students, you know that this comes out to be the minimum one. Let us see how. Let us say this is 1 1 1 again, all of them of 1 ohm only. So what is the value is 1 by R is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1. So this will come out to be a 1 by R will come out to be 1 by 3, you know. Effective resistance, if you calculate by this method, that is only 0.33 ampere, resistance ohm. 0.33 ohm will be the resistance, which is a minimum of any of the resistance here. If it is of 1 ohm, even effective resistance will be less than that. Okay, this is what I want you make realize. So this, you know, this circuit is quite beneficial. First of all it provide you a maximum current in the circuit, and this circuit is used in the domestic purposes, in our homes, in our room, the room in which you are sitting. It must be having a fan, light, AC or other appliances, all of them, they are connected in parallel to each other, which will run through the same potential difference, that is 220 volt in our houses. But you know, they consume different amount of current depending on the resistance used in them. And another important thing is that their voltage never fluctuates, that remain the same. And suppose one of the resistance is spoiled because of one of the other is burnt out, the current which is coming from here will be distributed to the other two resistances equally. That will not stop work of the other two resistances. So if fan of our house doesn't work, it doesn't mean that AC and heater will also not work. They will certainly work. So that's why for domestic purposes such an arrangement is used, that is resistances in parallel, they are used. So the disadvantages of series connection I have shown you here. So the same thing as I have told you, hence to overcome the problem we generally use parallel circuits. Let us see numericals, some of the numericals used here. If 5 resistances each of value 0.2 ohm are connected in series, what will be the resistance, total resistance or resultant resistance? So we will use this formula. R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 and R5. So R will come out to be 1 ohm. It is so big, right? So we have used 5 resistances and all of them will be of very less value, but ultimately the resistance, effective resistance will be very high in series. Second question, if 3 resistances of 3 ohm each are connected in parallel, what will be their total resistance? 3 resistances ली हमने 3 3 ohm की, और आपने क्या किया, उसको पैरेलल में अटैच किया. लेट अस फाइंड आउट रेजिस्टेंस. सो फॉर्मूला इज 1/r इज इक्वल टू 1/r1 plus 1/r2 plus 1/r3, that is 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, that is 3/3, that is 1. So R will come out to be 1 ohm only. So earlier what we use is 3 ohm resistances each, but if you want to reduce the resistance, put them in always in parallel to each other. Now next question is that an electric heater which is connected to a 220 volt supply line has two resistances of coil A and B of 24 ohm. So what we have to find out is resistance when A is used only, then when they are in series, when they are parallel. So do it yourself, students, and find out what is the answer. In which case resistance is the maximum when you use only one appliance, or two in series or two in parallel. Find it out yourself. Next question, potential difference of 4 volt is applied to two resistors of 6 ohm and 2 ohm. Calculate combined resistance. Okay, you can easily find out in series current flowing and potential difference across it. Now next question, find out equivalent resistance in the following. Now in this case, students, as you see, all the resistances, they are in series, they are all in series. You can easily find out the resultant resistance. If you look at the second case, these all are in the parallel condition. First of all, what we will use is we will solve these three resistances in series, because there is no connect at these two ends, so that's why they are all in series. Okay, once you calculate in series, then this will be in parallel because there is a connect here. So this will be in parallel with all of them. This mean the 24 ohm, which is a series resistance in series, so that will be in parallel with the 5 ohm. Okay, so with that, try to find out all the complete resistance of this circuit. Okay, I have given you a little hint. Now next one is this diagram in which these two ones, they are all of them are parallel to each other. If you look here, there is a joint present here between these two resistances. Joint here is there, whereas this is also having a joint on all the sides. That's why these resistances are in parallel. So you should use the formula and find out yourself. Okay, students, so thank you very much. You can find out more numericals from the other side and solve it. Thank you very much for listening me. Like, subscribe and share the video to others so that they can also understand the topic. Thank you.